What's up everyone, this is Cher talking, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're gonna talk about plenty of news for months in SaGa Universe, continuing from the past video where we had information about matcha banner. Now we also have the data mine information about upcoming events and the second banner as well. Starting with the free 1000 euros we'll be getting from the grand opening login bonuses with Taria. And the second one will give us 4000 with matcha, with Happy New Year. Then we have also a new type of platinum banner that will probably be using New Year platinum tickets. That is just the same. There's no new platinum style to summon for. There is a return of the Scarlet Pandemonium Melee. This is a tower event that was actually pretty interesting because it was not so hard as the Village War Tower and has less stages, I think 200, right? And we get plenty of free things here, not just gems, but also gold pieces and upgrade materials. So pretty nice. I think we get 6,000 or 9,000 free gens here. I have to check when we get inside the game. Then Lunar New Year Test of Might box. This is another event where you have to attack the treasure box, and if you get 300,000 damage you can get 1 million aurum, and you have to use a specific ticket to be able to run this event. But more on that later. There is also the Dragon Lantern Fast event that will be released alongside the new banner. That you have to fight this new dragon here. It's from SaGa Scarlet Grace, because all of the characters are from SaGa Scarlet Grace. And we also be getting this grand opening login bonus for fireworks display. That's, well, festivities. There's also the New Year Super Training Dojo. This event is actually very nice. I believe it has 3 times status gains for everyone in the party, and it's usually kind of easy for farming too. The enemies don't have that much HP, but we'll see when we get it inside the game. There's also a data mine of double element staff that has fire and earth, so made for matcha. Hopefully it's a rainbow weapon. Here we have the information about the treasure chest. You need to get this challenge tickets that will appear on login bonuses, and then you have to do plenty of damage against the treasure chest and get 1 million aurum, as you can see here. If you do 300,000, it should be pretty easy to do this. The next picture we have here, the Lunar New Year Thank You Lucky Pack. You can purchase those on the Auron exchange. There's plenty of free stuff here, especially gold pieces, guys. Take a look on this when it releases, because these are always useful. Then we have more information about the Super Training Dojo. It's just like the Seeker's Path. We have increased chance to increase the ranks of skills and spells. Strange that it's being released right after Seeker's Path, but Seeker's Path is also interesting to increase skills levels for, you know, characters that have buffs or some counter units, while the New Year Super Training Dojo will use offensive skills. And as you can see, there are plenty of rewards here as well. They are just explaining a little better that you can easily level up till you get to rank 99. And there's this special drop that will allow you to run a different dungeon to get rewards. That's it. The enemy difficulty would adapt to your strength, so even new players will be able to tackle this event without much problem. Then we have a plus for the Super Training Dojo. They will be dropping Testament of Might daily, 24 for rank 1 and 2, and 6 for rank 3. Nice, because this is still pretty rare, and we get 5 times style experiences. Moving on, the Fireworks Display event will be dropping the viewing ticket up to February. That's pretty nice, and you can use this up to 23 of February. And they will also be dropping on main story. You can get this many welfare styles. It's good because there's Balmain here in Miss Surfing, characters that we got recently. So moving on, there is also this Dragon Lantern Fast event. The HP cap will be 2090s. Remember, always 10 more than the game says. And some other rewards. And you may get this Dragon Lord Golden to drop during the Dragon Lantern Fast farming, and he will give you this ticket that will allow you to get plenty of aurum. This is an event that will help many of people that have a short amount of aurum. And 1 week from now, we'll get the Lunar New Year 2023 login bonus with Rouge on the face. Because there is a rerun banner scheduled for 1 week from now that has Rouge, but also has Summer Therese, Robin Girl, Liza, and Arsenal. This is actually very good because all of the styles have some type of utility. Therese is still a very powerful dexterity attacker with pierce damage. She also has access to roll attack with fire and pierce. And although Seattle and Darky and now Schuzer are very good pierce damage dealers, she's different, she's a bow user, very nice for remembrance too. Liza is one of the best martial artists, she can also buff the party for agility, very useful up to this day. Robin Girl was a character that I slept on release, but she's actually very useful for remembrance, and maybe some events where she can solo farm by resistance, although I don't think those will happen too much. Rouge is a very good wheel debuffer that scales very well in fights, can also inflict status ailments, and Arsenal is still pretty strong for farming with big damage, although not required for remembrance anyway. So there's some value here because you always get one featured style when you summon, instead of getting off banners, although off banners now are much better. Now we are on our srsdb.com and we already have the data for the new banner. I'll be making a short preview because the full review of the second banner probably arrives only tomorrow. So Taria is a very strange character. She does have some interesting status distribution. She tries to focus on 3 like most mages, with agility, intelligence, and will being the main ones. She does have average values for everything else, like on the 50s for both endurance, dexterity, love, and charisma. We have the solid defense passive. This is the same as the one that Global X Nadar got. She gets 10% defense up every turn up to she gets to 5 stacks and gets 1 damage block on every turn. This is forever. So if you are on a fight where the enemy doesn't attack as much, like Apollo, for example, she will barely take damage. That's actually very nice, and even when she takes damage, she would take lower than most characters because of the defense up, especially if it's a magical attack. Then we have Mastery 1 Intelligence and Will, buffing 5% of Intelligence and Will and recovering 1 VP. I don't like this too much because every 4 turns you have around 10% buff for both status, that's not game changing, and she gets fired up 6 with 30% increase in damage, that's the only damage passive. The first skill is pretty interesting. It's 3 VP, it debuffs agility by 15% with C power 19 power. Well, it's pretty close to B power, not bad. But then she also debuffs endurance. The endurance you should see as a plus because, well, debuffing endurance does not change much in the game. But if you need an agility debuffer, she's gonna be a very good one. Since she gets 4 EP per turn, she can use this as much as she wants. Then the second skill is a fully AoE attack with 6 BP, cold and blunt damage and C power. Pretty close to B power as well, but it's not strong enough to clear waves. If you want to use it, you have to bring yet another attacker to clear. Then the third attack's Elegant Ice, an IVP delayed attack that has triple S power, cold and blunt again, and we recover her HP to max. That's everything you need to know. It's just so powerful that we'll always get her from 0 to 4000, for example. Well, it's good because she can be used as a magical tank, especially on the Rising Phoenix X formation if you place her on the middle. If the enemy attacks with magical attacks, she's gonna receive pretty low damage even when she receives, and will survive well, and will even recover HP to keep being alive without having to rely on LP heals from herself or from anyone else. She's a magical tank with average damage. You have to understand that's Taria's main focus. The next character is Kahn, and he has a very good status distribution with 112 STR, that's actually okay, and his will is 105. You can see that those are the main focus of the character. But his endurance is not that bad with 85. His agility is 87, with bonuses it's good. His dexterity is the worst status, but, well, this will lead him to miss in some very hard challenges over the first turn before you buff his dexterity, with people like Matriarch, for example. Now, for passes, we have Brad Witter. On the start of a turn, he buffs everyone's will by 5%. That should give you around 10% at all times after 4 stacks. Buffs last for 4 turns. And we will also increase the resistance to instant Q and poison. The instant Q part seems pretty interesting if we ever get challenges where a boss keeps using instant Q attacks, and you need extra help because will buffs already increase your resistance to being instant killed. but this is something that can stack, and he will be using every turn to reach very high levels. If aligning with another wheel buffer, I do believe this will save you, but do you really need this? Only time will tell. Strengthen an attack to increase his damage by 15% and starts the fight with 12 to allow him to use some very good rotations, and the last passive is High Protection, giving him 20% increase in damage and receives 30% less damage. This is pretty cool because he can use it on farming and on bossing. He's a multi-purpose character. First attack is Rising Land, a free attack that hits for full and has pierce damage. Very nice because this replaces his normal attack. The second skill is Windmill Plus, an evasion counter stance that lasts for 1 turn and will counter with WS Power 53 mod pierce damage. It's kinda costly for 9 BP, and he does not have any sort of BP passive to regain when attacking, for example, like many counter units have, so he would take some time to be able to use it again. Unless the boss attacks with just direct attacks, and many times even this won't be as useful as it seems. The last attack, Aerial Strings, it's a 12 BP single target attack that hits 3 times with Pierce and Sun damage. This is actually insane. It's just the same type of attack as Gustav's Triple Crush. It will be the strongest turn 1 Pierce and Sun damage for farming. Well, for bossing, other characters can stack better, but for farming, he can kill some enemies probably or help you decrease the number of characters that you need to bring to the fight, so you use more trainees. For his S style, you have some inheritance, and the most important is just Big Wheels Plus, because this is a 12 VP attack with S Power and 42 mod that can open, so you can choose either going for the strongest single target Pierce and Sun, or some of the strongest AoE Pierce attack. And because Windmill will not be used on auto, he has a perfect cycle for either single target or full AoE attack. So it became much better than his JP version, and it's actually plenty of utility from a single character, but he is not the strongest type of damage in long run. Although he works for bossing because of his first passive, I believe he will be more used on farming because of the cycles. The next character is Ogniana, and she has some balanced status distribution. Nothing here is too big, but nothing here is too bad. 104 STR, she's not really a damage dealer, and then we have 70s for endurance and dexterity. Her wheel is 82, that's it. Her agility is also very good since she's a healer, and she can heal fast. Well, for passive, we have Energy Wall 3. When she's attacked, she has 25% chance to reduce that damage to 0 and also recover 3 BP. That's interesting because she actually has very good use of BP. The second is called Healing Resonance 3. She will heal herself when using a recovery action by 1000. The recovery action is her second skill. We'll talk more about that. And she will also buff this person that got healed and herself STR and agility. That's actually pretty cool because, well, you're not losing too much time. You have to heal, but then your next action will do more damage. And 40% buff is actually very nice. And then she has High Protection, as we know, reduces damage by 30%, increases her own by 20. She's not really a damage dealer, she's here just to bring support in remembrance battles. Well, Toast is her selling point. She heals for a class that does not have access to heal. Besides, of course, Alnus with his shield plus small healings. And she will also add Heat Up that increases damage permanent by 5%. 5% is not that important, but her healing is not that bad. It has C power, it will heal around 1.2k on the current game. And by buffing herself and the target, that brings more when you want to nuke in remembrance. Sometimes you have to use a very powerful attack, you just heal that character and it also increases the damage output. Then the third attack is very nice. Great Slash Dance. It didn't need a buff because it's just S power with 39 mod. That's just what Heaven on Earth Plus does, a skill that costs 6 BP. But it does have Slash and Sun. And when you use the attack, it will recover a random value between 4, 6, 8, or 10 BP. And even if you consider the worst luck, you actually only spent 2 BP by using this skill. The idea is to keep using Great Slash Dance on the start of a fight, doing damage, and eventually recovering more BP than you spent, even by triggering the first passive as well. And then when you need to heal, when you don't want to use LP, you go for her inheritance called Bloodthirsty Strike. That is a triple S attack, so stronger, and has delay, of course, but heals her for 1000, so you don't need to use the LP heal if you want to save for the fight. That's actually a very nice thing. She also has this Power Disruptor attack of 4 EP skill that has a chance to debuff SDR, but that's not that important in her cycles. She only has 60s, intelligence will not matter. But she also has Head Splitter Plus that can inflict Paralyze. So if you don't have a Paralyzer for the real Queen on Remembrance Battle, she's yet another idea. And she's an S style as well, so even if you don't get the newest Ogniana, with the S version you'll be able to defeat the Queen. With that said, we have all the characters, and I will be going back here to the info page. We also got information about new community events, so participate either on Twitter or on Facebook. But I want to say that this banner overall caught more of my attention than the banner for Matcha, because I do have too many healers in the game already, and Leonard and Balmain have their own problems, even though they can work in farming. I don't see them being so useful in other scenarios. Whereas I really like Ogniana. She's a character that we'll be using from now on all X battles in Death Master. Kahn has an interesting passive, although I question the utility of that. He has some very nice inheritances. He has single target options. Taria is the less interesting in my opinion, because she's a mage tank where I don't see that much utility, but only future content will tell. She negates turn 1 damage and then just takes barely anything. But I don't know how much this will work. The enemy has to use single target spells. You see, there's a lot of things that need to be considered. This is better because of the two other characters. We receive a silver award no matter what. Whereas I said that the matcha banner is only silver if you still benefit from getting yet another ship healer. So take that as information. I will be making the next video about the full review on matcha banner, and then the next over that will be Taria's. With all that said, thank you so much for watching the video. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you want to support the channel, there are links on the description of the video. Hope to see you soon in the next one. Bye.